All right, so let's get started. I expect we'll probably have more people dropping in, as that's what usually happens, is people join in a little bit late, but we'll start, just a couple people. So what we're getting into today is marketing your listing. So last week, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, if you were here, we did get into designs. Whether I don't remember who was here, if you weren't here, you can always watch the video of it. We started getting into designs and we created a buyer or a listing presentation. We also talked about how to create designed emails. We're going to get more into designs today, but we're really focusing on marketing your listing. And so I want to do this. I want to get into how you use designs specifically for a listing. And then I also want to show you how to do a landing page for your listing. Okay, because that's going to be really important. So here's what's in it for you. So let's say you have a listing, right? I want to be able to get the word out as much as possible. So what we want to do today is see how you can use command to make, I don't know, a flyer. So maybe you're going to have an open house and you're going to door knock in the neighborhood. Make a flyer. Knock on some doors. You've got a flyer to hand out. You can have a flyer that you put in a little box at the front of the property. You can make a social media post about your open house. You could send a postcard to all of the neighbors saying you have a new listing just listed. Okay, so there's a lot of things that I can do if I want to market my listing. And then with a landing page, imagine this. I don't know if you've had this happen to you with listings before, but a lot of times when I have a listing, people will call me from the sign. Hey, George. So I'll be wherever I am, and I get a phone call and they saw the sign, they're interested in the house. By making a landing page, I have a thing that I can really easily just send them that has the price, it has all the details, it has the photos, everything's all in one place. And what's really nice about the landing page is if something changes about my listing, the landing page will change as well. So let's say that this, I don't know, we change the price, drop the price, it'll automatically update. The seller changed something, might took a new photo of it, automatically updates. Change the description, automatically updates, all of that stuff. So it's really talking about just how you can use command to help you in your marketing for your listing. Okay. Anything that you guys are thinking that you want to get out of this beyond what I said before I get started? Make sure I cover it. Waiting for somebody to say Facebook ads. And that's also marketing your listing. But the reason I'm not talking about it today is we have a whole 1 hour class that we can barely get through in 1 hour on Facebook ads. Out of all of these classes, this is about 12 weeks long, this whole series. That's the one that I struggled to get through in an hour because there's just so much to it. So all of the stuff about Facebook ads, we're going to do that. So today will not be that. All right. So for today, we're going to be starting out in designs. So in command, designs is the one over on the left side that looks like right here, like a little pencil, like a paintbrush on a piece of paper, maybe. You're not sure which one it is. At any point in command, if you click on the KW at the top, it'll tell you what applet each one is. Okay, so the one we want is designs. And we're going to just start by taking a look at the designs that are available for listings. So to start that, first of all, your screen will look different from mine because I've created a lot of designs. So if you haven't created any, you're not going to see anything here. Okay. But if you have, you'll see the designs you've done. And I'm going to start by doing import design. I do the create design button when I know exactly what type of thing I want, but here I'm going to kind of leave it a little more open. I just want to take a look at my templates. And command is always a little slow when I have Zoom open. It's doubly slow when I'm in designs. So we'll just have to deal with that. Okay. Once I get to this screen, then I'm going to click on choose a template. And on the left side of the screen, I'm going to see a lot of categories. Now I'm going to come back to this auto create thing in a minute. So just hold on for that. That is really exciting. It's really cool. We're going to come back to it. But right now I've got some sections in here coming soon, for sale, listed, open house, and just sold. So just take a second and click on some of those categories. And what you're going to see is that in each of these categories, I have a bunch of different things. I have flyers that I can hand out. I have square social posts. I have, so that was a for sale, just listed is giving me kind of similar things. Social posts, flyers. Okay, right, so you can choose to do just sold, you can choose to do just listed, open house, whichever one you want, it doesn't matter. And you might not already have a listing. So if you don't have your own listing, you can use one of mine just to play around with. You can make a flyer for it too, but it doesn't really help you since it's already under contract. But let's try it with, let's just do a social post for a listing. And I'm gonna do just sold, but you can pick whatever category you want. So pick a category, just sold, for sale, coming soon, whichever one you like. And then at the top, click on social square so that I'm only seeing social posts. So if I know in advance that what I want is a social post, I can just click that and then I'm ready to go. And then you've got 3 different looks that you can choose from. So pick whichever one you like and then click use. And it's going to open it up so that you can start modifying it. We're going to do it the slow way first, and then I'm going to show you the quicker way. Fine, that's where we're doing. All right, so in here, if you were here last week or 2 weeks ago, you saw that we can edit anything about this post. Okay, so for example, I'm doing a social post here. I'm going to change this photo to one that's for my listing instead of this random house. I have a pending listing at 1827 Bank Street. I have a recently sold one at 1820 Arbutus Avenue or 4205 Valley View Avenue. If you don't have your own listing, just use one of mine. That's totally fine. What we're going to do is I want to add some photos in here. Okay, so here's what I'll do. In the bottom left corner, there's a button that says KWLS. Okay, and that's going to get me to all of the listings. And I'm going to search for a listing. So at the top, once I've clicked on KWLS, the top you'll see search for a listing, and we'll search by listing address. So I'm going to do 1820 Arbutus Avenue. Okay, so that's already sold. So I've typed in the address. And then when I hit return, it's going to pull up listings that are on Arbutus Avenue. Now this top one happens to be mine, one in Haleport, but there's other Arbutus Avenues around the country, so it pulls up some other ones. I may having trouble seeing a listing when you pull one up. Everybody good?
Oh, what is it?
So, okay, so first you have to go to one of the social squares and click use. You see where it says use? There you go. That'll open it up. And I'm going to KWLS. And that's the place where I can type in an address. You search for a listing. Okay, so what's nice about this is you can do this not just for your own listings. If you have the permission of the listing agent, you can do it for other people's listings. So if you wanted to, you know, put something on social media about somebody else's listing to get your own buyers, as you know, as long as you ask that other agent, that's totally fine to do. You know, and if you ask me, I'm always willing to share mine. So once I've typed in an address, I did 1820 Arbutus Avenue. You can do that one or a different one. The houses pop up. This one is actually my house that I sold recently. So I'm going to click select. Okay. What's really great about that is then Command brings in the photos from that house and also listing details. So I don't have to like download the photos and upload them, all that kind of stuff. I could just see all the photos there. If you were using somebody else's listing, it's just going to pull them right in from the listing. All right. So what I want to do is I want to replace.
Quick question, Kirsten. I'm sorry. The photos that are on the listing, are those already, were those already uploaded or imported from MLS?
Those are the ones in the MLS.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. And that's kind of the process we do, right? So we get our photos, we get them in the MLS, and then we just start, now we're ready to start doing our social photos, and it's great because that gives you quick access to them. So I want to replace this photo here with one from my listing. This is kind of a weird thing, so I just want you to watch what I'm going to do for a second because it's not exactly intuitive. Here's how I do it. I'm going to select the photo I don't want. Okay, so look up here for a second, just so I can show you. Hey, Therese, I want to show you this part. I'm selecting, I clicked on the photo I don't want. I'm not going to go click on a photo over here. You would think you just click on a photo here. Don't do that, because if you do, if you click on a photo here, it's going to plop a giant photo on your page. You don't want that. You're going to go to the photo that you want to have instead. But instead of clicking on it, you're going to go over the photo and you see there's a button that has 2 arrows in other directions. That means replace photo. So I select this photo. I go to the photo I want instead, and instead of clicking in the center of it, I'm clicking right on those double arrows. And what the command does is it pulls that photo into the social post in the exact shape and size as the one that was there before. Okay, so if you don't know to click that double arrow button, it's going to plop another photo on top of your thing. You have to resize it and move it around. Do it the easy way. Okay. And then with the text, I can just start changing things. Okay, so there's an address here. That's the wrong address, right? That's just some other house. I don't want that address. I'll just start changing things. I click on the address. You could just start typing, but my favorite way is to use, let's see. Get this showing here. Okay. I like to use something called the typewriter. What the typewriter does is it allows me to edit the text without all the formatting in the way. So you're going to click on some text. The typewriter button looks like a black square and a white square with a line down the middle. And when I click on the typewriter button, it's going to pull up a window where I can edit the text without its formatting. That's especially helpful when the text is tiny and I can't see it. Okay, so I clicked that. I'm going to change this to the correct address for my listing. Okay. And then I'm going to hit save changes. And then it makes the change. Okay, I'm going to do that for other things as well. The zoom thing out of my way here. So I could change the number of bedrooms and baths when it was built. I also have to change this logo. See at the bottom it says KWDBA name. You're supposed to put your real Keller Williams Legacy logo in there. Okay. You may or may not already have that uploaded into Command. And if you don't have it already uploaded, you're going to need to upload it into Command so that you can start using it. So if it's uploaded, when I go into, if I click on my assets, I'm going to see it. I see my assets shows me pictures that I've uploaded. You've got my face, my head right there. And you've also got some Keller Williams Legacy logos. Does anybody not already have their logos uploaded? Are they showing for you? Oh, good. Okay. Anybody's watching this Zoom later and you don't have yours uploaded? All you have to do is go to that My Assets, move the zoom out of the way, and add to the library. If I can click on Elements, I can click on My Assets, and then I can upload them. Images, sorry, My Assets, there they are. Okay, so let's just take a couple minutes and just start changing things. Put in, replace the logo with the Keller Williams Legacy logo, maybe change the photo, change the text. Do whatever you want to it. It's pretty easy, it's not that tough to do. So, yeah, you got it, good. If you wanted to, you could add other images to these. If you were here a couple of weeks ago, you saw that in the workspace, we've got all kinds of images and photos that we can use. Usually these don't need anything, usually they're all set. Okay, so now that I've done this, I can make further changes. At the top where it has all the text options, I can use a different font or a size or make something bold, you know, whatever normal text editing you have. You have some image editing options as well. If you wanted to make something transparent or something like that, you could change it. But these I tend not to do very much. I tend to just kind of change what's there and then work with it. I'm ready to download it, right? Now I want to put this on my social media. So I need to download this so that I can then upload it to Facebook. So when you're complete, when your image is complete and you're ready to use it for something, the upper right corner, there's a button that says download. It looks like an arrow pointing down. Okay, find that arrow pointing down and click download. And you have to choose what file format you want for this image. So in this case, this is a social media post. So I want to have a JPEG. That's it. That's the file format I'm usually using when I'm posting things online. So I don't want PDF. Instead, I'm going to choose JPEG. There might be times if this instead were a flyer, then I don't want a JPEG. I want a PDF because I want to print it. Right. So under PDF, there are two options. There's PDF standard and PDF print. PDF standard is the one you use if you're just using the printer here or at your house. PDF for printing is when you're sending it to a professional printer to print for you. So sometimes I'll see people do that with, say, like their listing presentation. They have a 10-page, 8-page listing presentation, and they want it like on pages that hold together and all kinds of fancy stuff. That's the way you want if somebody else is printing it for you professionally. Most of the time, you're just going to do PDF standard. But in this case, it's JPEG. So I'm going to hit JPEG and download. And then it downloads it for me, and I have that ready to use on anything else. Okay. So what we just did, exactly those steps are what you do for any of these things. So let's go back. I'm going to go click templates to look at my templates again. I'm actually going to click on home. I want to get all the way out of here. Okay. Go. I'm going to hit choose a template so I can look at everything that's there. So if you have a listing, you want to make a flyer, same deal. Find a template that's for a flyer, just pick one you like and start editing it. If you want to do social posts, you have all kinds of things that you can do here. Now, a lot of times, if I'm doing a listing, I want to do a couple of things at once, right? I want to do a social post and a flyer, and all these things at one time. Okay, this thing is kind of new. I want to show you something called auto create. Okay, it's really cool. All right, so let's try it. All right, I'm going to pick a category. I'm going to stay in just sold for me, but you can pick anyone you want. And then click auto create. And Command is going to make multiple documents for me when I do this. So I'm going to choose a listing. I'm going to choose the same one I did before. 1820 are viewed as. It makes you spell it right. Have you noticed that? I just tend to type, oh my gosh. G-U-S. Something's going on when I hit this T key. It's like not. It won't take the T.
You put 1827.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. What was our Views Avenue again?
1820.
1820. Yeah. You would think I would remember that. What did I do? Okay, 1820 Arbutus. Hey, there it is. Okay, so choose a listing. and I select it. Okay, so that's that, and then I'm gonna hit continue. Okay, and it's going to confirm the details with me. It was listed at $349. It's sold for $349. So it pulled that from Bright. So it's probably correct, but it's just asking you to verify it. And then there's some other details about the number of bedrooms, square footage, you know, year built, all that kind of stuff. So I just confirm everything's here. If anything is blank, fill it in. And then I'll hit continue. Okay, it's asking about me. Okay, so it wants to know agent, right? My name, my app, the office phone number, all this kind of stuff. Oh, look, it has my office phone number instead of my cell number. I'm gonna change that. So if there's anything in here that is not what you want, you can just change it. Okay. Let's see, Jerry just likes it. Did I skip where it asked me for my photos? It should have asked me for my photos and I don't remember seeing that. It asked you, you know, it might have been, I did this same property this morning just to like, because this is kind of new and I hadn't done it in a little while. So it might be because I did that one this morning. You should have to choose a few photos. Because what's really cool, I'm going to do mine over. What's awesome about this is it's going to make all of these designs for you. You should have to choose 3 or 4 photos. And then it will create social posts and the flyer. Makes multiple designs for you all at once, pulling the information from your listing. So I didn't have to type in that I listed at $349 and it sold for $349. It pulled it from my listing. I don't like that it skipped my photos, so I'm just gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it with a different property and see what happens here. Let's do 4205 Valley View. Here's my house, select, continue. Oh, it's just user error. It's me. I didn't scroll down and pick images. You gotta pick images. If you don't pick images, it's gonna use the old ones that came with it. So I'm gonna pick 4 images. Carefully choosing 4 images. Okay. And then I continue. Confirm. Okay, it's creating my designs for me. This time I did it right and selected photos, so it'll look better. It's gonna go really slow for me because I have Zoom open. But in the end, you might have to refresh the folder, but you're gonna see a link with the folder with all of those things already created for you. You didn't have to change the text. It used those images, just quick. I think that's awesome. Really, really cool. 89. Hey, go to folder. Here we go. All right, so let's see what it did. Okay, so there we go. Look at all these. I have all these social posts ready to go. All these different sizes. I've got flyers. I've got all kinds of stuff. It took the photos that I chose and it's just ready to print. It pulled everything right from that listing and it's ready to go.
So you said only one or you select only one? I heard you say you have to select many.
Okay, you selected that, continue. So choosing images. I don't know why you're saying only one, but it might be the category you're in. If you were in just sold, there might be fewer things than if you ones. Sure. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep moving on, but if you want to keep playing with it, because you know we gotta kind of move fast. So any of these I can open it up and print it. I can make changes to it if I need to, do whatever I need to. I'll probably have to change some things like my logo or my photo, but at least it gives you a head start. Okay. So that's one kind of design you could do. Okay, whole different thing I want to show you. Using postcards. So I'm gonna slowly get out back to, it's really slow for me. I want to get back to regular command. That's where we're going. You can get there quicker than I can because of how slow everything is when I have Zoom open. Let's do this, it'll be easier. All right, so here's where we're going with this. Let's say that you just listed a house, okay? And you want to send a postcard out to all of the neighbors that says, just listed, has a photo of the house, the price, blah, 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 okay? Or you sold a house and you want to send then a postcard, another postcard out to the whole neighborhood. I just sold the house. I sold it in 4 days for above listing or whatever you're gonna say. I've gotten listings from this just by sending out a postcard. Because that's, people in that neighborhood, a lot of them have seen it because they drive past it, but one street over, they might never drive past it. Because it's the street over. So when you're marketing your listing, I'm hoping what you're gonna do is have an open house. Use command to print an open house flyer. Print a bunch of those open house flyers. Knock on a bunch of doors. Invite all those people to your open house. If they're not home, leave an open house flyer in the door. Okay, that's really valuable to do. Gotten buyers doing that, gotten listings doing that. Just right around that house. I've also had really good success with sending out a postcard to the neighbors. And command can automatically mail a postcard out to the people that are around that house, or it can send it to people in your database. You have a choice. All right, so let's go ahead and try that. So you're going to get back to command, get out of all of that design stuff that we were in, and then go to the campaigns applet. So the campaigns applet looks like a bullhorn. Okay. You're going to use this again if you come back for Facebook ads. This is where we do Facebook ads, which we will not even get into today because it's such a big long topic. All right, so I'm in campaigns and we're trying to do direct mail. I'm trying to do a postcard. So I'm going to click on direct mail at the top here. Actually, you don't even have to click on it. I should show you something. It'll show you. So I haven't had any recent marketing campaigns, so it's not showing anything there. But at the top, I'm going to top right. I'm going to click create campaign. And the first thing that happens is command asks me what type of campaign it is. In this case, we want to do direct mail. Click on direct mail, and you'll get to this screen right here. All right. No matter what your true purpose, did you do that? Okay. So direct mail, create campaign, upper right corner. Okay, cool. No matter what your true purpose is. So when I'm, I might really be trying to attract listings or attract buyers. I'm not going to choose that option though, because if I want to be able to pull photos and information from a listing, I have to select the option that says advertise listing. So anytime you want stuff from a listing, make sure you've chosen advertise listing. And I like to name things with the address of the property. So let me go back to 1820 Arbutus. Okay, name it whatever you'd like. I usually put the address and whether it was just sold or just listed or whatever it is. And then I'm going to scroll down and click create campaign. Oh, I forgot to select a goal, advertise listing. I said I was going to do it and then didn't do it. All right, so first I'm going to need to choose an address. And I want to point this out before you even start typing. Right now, mine is selected to only show my listings and only show active listings. Okay, let's say I want to do a just sold postcard. I have to choose show me closed listings. And sometimes I have closed listings. I don't know why it's not showing them, but I'm going to do all listings. And then I can search by a property address, just like we did before. See 1820 reviews. Just gonna do- The worst time when I have Zoom open.
You remember the button you hit to get to the screen? I forget.
What's that?
You remember the button you hit to get to the screen?
I did create campaign. And then
Name to get a choose role.
I had to do, it was like this, like, her, something about this thing, sort of. Yeah.
I don't have any advertisements, so.
Yeah, so what I was saying though, where are you? Go back. You're in a different screen. So it's back up. Let's get back to where you were. See that whole back? Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's-
Okay, so they're in a totally different screen. Do create campaign.
Thank you.
Good. No, close it up. Close it up. I didn't realize, go back to direct view. Create campaign. You don't have permissions when you're, oh, you're just like, close this up. You're in your coaching account.
Oh, I should be.
You need to do it in your personal account. That's what's going on, is that you don't have permission to do it in the coaching account. You're in that. Create campaign. There we go. Yay, direct mail. Hey, just for everybody on Zoom, one person was having difficulty, and it was because she's part of Legacy All Stars. When you're on a team, like Legacy All Stars is kind of technically set up as a team, you have to be in your personal account sometimes to do these things. If you're in some kind of team, they might not have the permissions for you to do those things. So team members, be aware, you might need to choose that. Okay, but hopefully all of us have gotten to a point where we can type in an address. And I can select my address, 1820 Arbutus Avenue, select. Okay. And this is gonna just kind of walk me through all the steps. Okay, so first I selected a listing. And now I need to choose the content I want for that. So I'll expand content. And we're gonna use just a default template. So I can choose what size postcard I want. I'm going to do a 4x6 postcard because that's the least expensive. There are larger postcard options, but you'll pay more in postage for those. Okay, so 4x6. You can see there's some other 6x9 or 6x11, but it will be more expensive if you do that. Okay, I've got the listing address. Okay, it's asking me to choose a status. So I'm going to choose just sold. Okay, it pulled in the number of bedrooms and baths and the price for my listing, and it also pulled in my listing description. So that's kind of nice. I don't have to type all this, but since it's a just sold postcard, some of the things in there I don't want. So I might just change it. So I don't want to say price reduced. I want to say, you know, sold at list price. Okay. I might take out some of the stuff about the virtual tour because I don't have it available anymore. Okay, and I also find when I have a really long listing description, sometimes I need to cut it down. You're limited to 350 characters. So if you have a long listing description, you're definitely going to have to cut it down a little bit. Okay, and then I need to choose the listing photo. So right now it's letting me upload an image. Instead of doing that, I can click on listing image, and then command will just show me only the image, all the images from my listing. You good over there? We got it. You're all right. Okay. All right, so listing image. There's a warning here because my file size is too small. I've printed them anyway with that, and it's been totally fine. So just try it. I'm gonna have to bring in I have some postcards at home that like had the person had moved, and so they came back. I need to bring those in. Keep forgetting to. I just need to bring them in so they're here. All right, so I'm just gonna choose a listing photo. Okay. Scroll down. any of those. And then here's my photos there. Yours should be there already, but if it's not, you can upload it. Make sure your phone number is correct, your email address is correct, and then hit save. Nope, it says fill in the required fields. Missing something, scroll through. Oh, look, I don't have little dashes in my number, so it didn't like that. Okay, save, let's see. Are you sure you want to use that image? Yes, you do. Okay, so what's happening right now, I chose an image and you can see on the right side of the screen, there's a preview of what this postcard is going to look like. You'll see a better preview later, but this is sort of giving you an idea of what the postcard will be like. Next, I need to choose the market center and expand market center. Mine already has the Keller Williams Legacy logo. If yours does not, you'll need to upload it. And then I have a return address because sometimes somebody has moved and the postcard is not going to get to them. So you need to make sure the return address is correct. Hit verify address. And it corrects it to post office standards and I hit confirm. Okay, so far we chose a listing. We picked a photo, we changed our text around. We had our information in there, so we just kind of confirmed all of that information all along. The next step is to choose who's getting this postcard. Okay, so if I expand the one that says targeting, I have two options. I can either do local targeting or target my database. Local targeting means that it's going to mail the postcard to homes around my listing, which is normally what I want to do with something like a just sold postcard. But you might also want to target people in your database. You know, maybe you want to target people. See, I can select certain people in my database using tags. So I'm not going to do it now because I'm taking forever on here. But if I wanted to just imagine this, let's say that you just sold a property and you want to send a postcard to your seller leads to show them that you just had a sale. Or you have a new listing, you want to send a postcard to your buyer leads. You can do that if you want. That's not what I'm trying to do today. Today, I want to target the people around my listing. So I'll do local targeting. And I just have to confirm the address, which is correct here. And then I'll click save. Okay, we're almost done. All right, budget. How much do I want to spend? You can mail as little as one postcard. The first time I tried this, I just sent one postcard to myself, just to see what it looked like before I spent money sending it out a whole bunch. You know, just to check it out and see what it looked like. So why not try that? It'll be like 68 cents. So for 68 cents, you can send one postcard to yourself, see what it looks like when you do this before you spend the money sending out a whole bunch. Okay. And you can change this to any number you want. So mine says 200 right now. I can send out 136 if I want. It doesn't have to be a round number. It can be any number you want. Okay, so for 200 postcards, it's going to cost me $136. They're 68 cents each. The price will be higher if you choose a larger postcard because the postage is more expensive. All right, so I'm just going to stick with 200 and I'll hit save. Okay, now a couple last things. This is where I'm going to get into my landing page. I have the option, and move all the Zoom stuff out of the way. I have the option of adding a QR code to the postcard that people can scan. And if I do that, I can have it automatically take them to a landing page about this house. All right, so that's what I really like to do, is do this QR code. Now, we haven't named the landing page yet. So we're going to just leave this window open another tab, and make a landing page. A landing page is so fast. We're gonna do this really quick. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this open. I'm opening another tab of command, which I do all the time. It's much easier, just leave where you are and start another. Log in again on this other one. Has anybody made a landing page before? Teresa has.
I did it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Once you get a new command window open, you're going to click on the consumer applet, which is the very bottom one on the left side. This is where you change things about your agent website and also where you create landing pages. So does anybody not know what a landing page is? Okay, here's what the landing page is. A landing page is a web page that is kind of a standalone thing. It's not a whole website that takes you to a whole bunch of different things. It's a single page with information about a single topic, just kind of on its, sitting there on its own. Okay, so we want to make a landing page that's about this house that I have listed. Right, and I'm going to use it for this postcard, because here's what's going to happen with this postcard that I send out. It's going to have that little QR code on it. And if somebody scans it, it's going to take them to this landing page so that they can see even more photos of the house. You know, which is terrific. But you can use this landing page for other things too. I use it for sending the information about my listing to people really quickly. You know, if somebody calls me on the phone and is interested in the house, I don't have to like, go to my listing, find it online, copy it, and send a link from, Redfin or something, or even my own website. I can just use the landing page itself. That has everything all in one spot. I can also use it as part of Facebook ads. I could send the landing page, as part of text or an email. It's just kind of nice to have like a, here's my house. So let's make a new page real quick. I'm going to click create a new page in the upper right corner. And then I have to choose, is this new page on my agent site, on my website, by working on my own website right now, or do I want a landing page? I'm on a landing page right here, so I'm gonna click as a landing page. And then I'll hit create page. Okay. Yeah.
If the QR code, you could send them to your agent website, you have that option, or you.
I have to choose a landing page, but we're gonna make the landing page have our contact info on it. So that would.
Send them to your agent website, or do you always send them to it?
Has to be a landing page.
That's
Mhm. It won't let me choose just any site. I have to choose a landing page. Sure, that is a very good question. You didn't hear it on Zoom. The question was, does it have to be a landing page, or could I send them to my website? And the answer is, it has to be a landing page. Okay, so on this landing page builder thing, the right side are all of the things you can put in a landing page. So in a landing page, I can have agent branding. That's my info. I could have like a little header with my info. It's a branded header. A lead form would be a place where they can put their info. What I want is listing info, right? So let's try that. So on the right side, find the thing that says listing. And just drag that puppy right on over to your page and let go. And it'll look like this, because you haven't told it what listing yet. So it's just a random house right now. But next I'm going to tell it which house I want. These things are all widgets, and the way you change widgets is with configure widgets. So I'll click configure widgets. And now I have to choose my listing. Browse listings. Type in the property address again. This time we're remembering 1820 Arbutus Avenue. Search. Finding it, yeah.
Statistics underneath of that,
What's that?
do you use the widget for like market statistics under, that or?
I did the listing one, but you should certainly try market stats if you want. Just check out what it does. I kind of like using, instead of property address, I can use like the MLS number, and that's kind of helpful because sometimes I get it quicker. Where am I not seeing 1820? Oh, because it's, because I typed 1827 again, that's why. Oh my gosh. I have. I'm just mixing up my addresses. 18. Yeah, it works better if you put the correct address in. Okay, now I've got it selected. Right? So I chose which listing I want. And then just like before, I need to choose which photos, like I want the photos from the listing, and I'm gonna choose which my main photo is gonna be. The person seeing this is going to have access to all of the photos. You're just picking which one is the main one. Okay, so pick any photo you like to be the main photo and then hit save and apply. And it'll take a second, but then look what happens. I've got that photo I selected. Scroll down a little bit and look, it's got the address, has the price that's sold for, it says sold. It's pulling in the information from my listing, how many bedrooms I have, what year it was built, all that just came from the listing. I didn't have to type it. Pulls it right on in, which is terrific. I keep scrolling down, it has my description. And then I've got I've got photos. So it's sliding through. Look, I can see every photo here if I want. Okay, scroll through them. Below that is the details about the house. Pulling from my listing again. Map showing where it is. You know, it's just really all set. Okay. And now I'm done. Now, I usually don't just want just the listing. I usually also want to have information about me on there. Right? I want them to know who, who has this listing. So I'm going to take, let's see, I could do a couple different things. I could do download my app if I wanted to. I could do that market stat thing. I'm just going to have the, do the legal footer. Legal footer goes at the bottom. All I have to do is drag the legal footer to the bottom of this screen and it'll just drop it right in. If I scroll down, I can see what it looks like. My Zoom thing was in my way, so I might need to redo it here. Zoom is always in my way. Yeah. Here. Let's try it again. Legal footer. Drag it to the bottom. Okay, there it goes. And then when I scroll down, you can see that it automatically pulled in the information about Keller Williams Legacy. So you can play around with all these widgets. For each of those, they bring in different things into your landing page. In the interest of time, I'm not going to just keep playing around with it, but definitely at home, keep doing it. I'm going to then type in a name for the landing page. So I'm going to call it 1820 Arbutus Avenue. I always do a property address. And I'm just putting something so I can distinguish it. Okay, so I've got my page ready. I'm going to hit publish page. Okay, so this landing page is live now. If I send the link to anybody, they can view it. I can access it by hitting landing pages, and then I can see all the landing pages I have. And you can see I keep doing the same ones. I have a whole bunch of tests, but this link right here is what I would send to somebody if I wanted to send them my landing page. And again, let's take a look at what my landing page looks like. Okay, this is what they're seeing. They're seeing the house and all those details. Okay, now I need to finish up what I was doing. I was in the middle of making a postcard and we got distracted by making a landing page. So let's come back and finish our postcard. So at the top of the screen, I'm clicking on the tab for my postcard. I'm back to editing my postcard. Is everybody right here in this spot? Back on your postcard? Okay, so what we need to do is where it says QR code, I'm turning it on to turn on the tracking. Okay, so then once we turn that on, they will be taken to a page where they're asked to put in their contact info. And then they'll be taken to the landing page. Their contact will go into your commands if they enter it. They might put in Mickey Mouse, they might put in their real name, whatever they put in, it's gonna show up in your command. All right. I need to choose who is getting this postcard. The postcard's ready. Who are those 200 people around the house who should get it? I'm gonna click on configure targeting. Oops, look, I'm missing something. It says, please fill in all required fields. So I must be missing something. Oh, I see. Landing page, I forgot to select it. Landing page assigned. I'm gonna choose my landing page. I have the worst trouble with this mouse here, sorry. Here we go. Okay, there it is. Good enough. Great. I'm ready to go. I'm going to click on configure targeting. And I'm going to go ahead and create this campaign. I'm going to cancel it right at the point where I enter my credit card in. So we're going to go all the way till my credit card and then I cancel because I actually don't want to send this. Okay. I get to choose. So here's my listing, this house right here. And then all the blue dots are the homes close to this house where it's going to send the postcard. Uh-oh. Sarah's making a face. Yeah, here's the thing. If somebody just bought their house last year, they're not as likely to sell, right? So when I'm sending this just sold postcard, my intention is to find people who want to sell their house. I probably don't want to send it to people who just bought last year. So where I can do is where it says last year, last sold, instead of going all the way to 2023, I can say, okay, people who bought, 2022, 2021, I don't want to sell to all of them. I can just drag this little dot to where I want it to be. There we go. Okay. I could change other things as well. Like you might be in an area where you just want to target people in a certain price range and you don't want to do the lower ones. You can change the price or the year bill to the square footage. So you can change any of those things for who is getting it. The last sold is the one I mostly use, but it's totally up to you. And as you can see, first class mail is going to be my only option. Those are the 200 homes it's sending to. And I have the choice of checking this box for send to company address. If you check that box, they'll send a postcard here so that you also have one that you can see. I'm going to click next. And then this is where I'm going to cancel as soon as I show you the preview. If I put my credit card in right now, I'm going to be paying for it. I'm not going to do that. But I wanted to show you this thing that says view a larger preview, because that lets me see what a postcard really looks like. So you can see front and back what they're getting. It comes out pretty nice. And we did that pretty quick. And I was talking a whole bunch during it. Like once you've done this once or twice, you can send that postcard out in just a couple of minutes. It doesn't take very long. It looks pretty good. And I've gotten listings from it. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, so we only have a couple minutes left. Any questions before we turn it over to the huddle coming in here too?
Could you send like thank you cards the same way?
Yes. Yeah, so on Zoom, if you didn't hear that, the question is, do you send thank you cards or any card? Like if you designed a postcard in Command or had to design somewhere else that you imported into Command, you could use that option where we said target my database instead of target an address. I could send to people in my database. Yes, absolutely. Good question. Thank you for asking. Anything else?
Question.
Yeah, hey, Brian.
Hey there. So after you go through all of this designing your postcard, you pay for it, you hit send or whatever. So Command and the Market Center takes care of everything. We never physically actually see the card or anything.
Yeah, it's not even the Market Center. It's all in Command using this thing called WeBrand. Like it just gets sent out. Once I pay my credit card in, the next day postcards are going out.
Okay, the very next day.
Yeah, which is terrific. And I'll bring in some of the ones so you can see them. They look really nice. And
Mhm.
gosh, that's quick.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank you.
asking.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Anything else? Okay, we're gonna end it now because the huddle's coming on in. So if you're in like Scout Stars and you're staying for a huddle, just help us move the tables around. Everybody on Zoom, thanks for coming. I'll see you next week.